Hey guys, what's up? JRPG Bro here. We are jumping back into our playthrough of Persona 5 Royal. We are currently jumping around the dungeon right now. Well, dungeon's an abject word. This is more the palace for Kamoshida right now. We're kind of hanging out in the library. It's not really a library, but the general area where there's a library. There's a slight puzzle coming up right now that we're going to have to focus on doing here. So I might get a little bit lost here, which is not going to be surprising. You know, you can't really remember 100% of the dungeon. It's not like it's something we're able to do. Because if we were to do that, remember, 100% of the dungeon, there would be, you know, it'd be pretty easy to do. So it looks like we found yet another safe room. There's actually quite a bit of these scattered throughout each palace. And what's going to happen is, as we go through them, we'll be able to save here if we need to stop playing. The safe rooms are great in these games. I'm not in this game. Keep in mind, it's only this game. 4 doesn't have it, because 4 they expect you to either go the entire distance or only part of the way through a dungeon in one day. And you know, you can kind of do that here in Royal, where we can actually go through the entire dungeon in one sitting. It's just a little bit more of a challenge. They're bigger. So you see here, this is a kind of like, if we were to use our third eye, we'd be able to find, oh no, we grabbed the book, my bad. I thought this was the right room. Alright, so we grabbed the book here. It's a little rough here, the slave book. Obviously it's a key item. You can see the little key up there. And Morgana's going to point out that's important. It is a key item. You can tell an item is a key item when you pick it up, when it has a little green key. Pretty simple and straightforward, right? So we're going to kind of wander around here a little bit. I don't think we're going to run into... No, I lied. You can see the enemy on the map in the bottom corner there, and it's a powerful one, which is great because we're going to want to work on leveling up at the same time. The ultimate goal, though, is we do want to, get as many levels here. I strongly suggest if this is your first playthrough, trying to get to level 15 or so. Hitting level 15 will be, a fantastic thing for you to do because the boss is level 12, and it's going to be a bit more of a challenge if this is your first playthrough. I think
they were nothing.
I think the first playthrough I played, Vanilla, we'll call it, which is the original default version of Persona 5, it was hard. I struggled a little bit at the beginning because I hadn't reached that epitome of being Captain Grindy, where I will literally grind out levels. Now I grind. I'm not gonna lie. I go pretty hard when it comes to that. That's just what I do.
Well then.
And as you can see, we can't go into every little room here. Oh, there's an enemy. We can't do that. Now, knowing me, I might overgrind. Because if you guys haven't realized, our confidants, they do have special abilities. As we level up, they gain, new abilities and then get stronger and so on and so forth. Every confidant has its own special ability. One confidant has a really overpowered ability in which people say, don't get them up to level, beyond rank 6. And I'm going to explain that later when we get closer to that. I see where they're coming from, but at the same point in time, I think go for it. You want to max everything out, right? This confidant reaching rank 6 will actually make the game a lot easier and make grinding easier if that's what you're into. But we're not there yet. We're still pretty far away. Like I said, we're in April. The game it moves a lot faster once we get past this, this first palace. It's kind of like a tutorial. The entire section here is a tutorial and introducing us to the game as a whole. Now, that's all well and good. It holds our hand and then it kind of just shoves us off a cliff to an extent at the same point in time. And that's what I feel like with Kamoshida's palace here, because it doesn't really, we can still, mess up and get a game over and, have to start from scratch or our last save file. So make sure you're saving frequently. Now we're in the library. Focus. And here's where the puzzle comes in. If we use our third eye, we'll be able to see a spot where we can shove a specific book. So these key items are going to be really important for us to know which one goes where. So we picked up, I think there was like 3 or 4 books. So we're going to try putting one of the books in. So the Queen book, the Slave book, and the Beefcake book. We're going to try the Beefcake book. That sounds about right?
Oh?
It does not fit. All right, so we don't need the beefcake book, so we're going to pull it out. More likely than not, we're probably going to need a very specific book, probably the king book here. I feel like these books on the wall all pertain to very specific things. I think these apply to King Kamoshida, or, you know, Kamoshida as a whole, he's not like a king. So we're going to check out this one. So this is all the female students here. It's kind of disturbing if you think about it, how this guy's a teacher. He is a teacher at a high school, and he views, you know, the girls and, you know, like this, like sexual objects, and then he views the boys as, you know, essentially slaves that carry out his bidding. That shit's messed up. Like I said, Persona 5 deals with, I think it deals with a lot more heavier subjects than the previous games. You know, 4 does deal with some pretty heavy stuff. You know, it does deal with, you know, murder and, you know, things along that nature there. But I feel like 5, it's just heavier. You know, we had someone trying to commit suicide before this whole, you know, palace excursion set off. So,
Focus.
We got 2 books. 2 books down. We have 1 book left to find, and we still have this beefcake book. I have to figure out where to put it. I think we found where the beefcake book goes, which is right in here. And we're probably going to get rewarded for doing that. Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go. That's going to be a useful item for later on. Definitely, you know, certain items that we get throughout the palaces are going to be useful. I'm not saying that some items are more useful than others. You would think that I would know what every item does in the game. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't. I am not. You know, Persona is my favorite franchise, but I can't tell you guys everything about it. I'm not that kind of gamer. And I'm, as weird as it is, you know, I acknowledge and admit that I actually do use a guide to get through these games. Not to get through it, because I could play this game just like I could play 4, you know, without really needing a guide. The guide is more so I can maximize my playtime. I want to make sure the hours that I put into these games, you know, end up being worth it to an extent, because I want to experience as much as possible in a playthrough, and you're not going to be able to do that one playthrough.
How suspicious.
And here it is. This is the King book, so we gotta go backtrack to the library. Like I said,
I see.
or actually, we're already in here. Huh. What did I see? I get lost. You know, I figured it out eventually. I get lost here trying to figure out things, but we get there, and it's gonna open up this little room here for another secret room.
The hell is this room? There are tons of pictures of Suzui in here. Wait, it's all pics of her?
Yeah, definitely. I feel even more motivated to do this now.
I'm sure it'll feel awful, but we should search this room. There has to be something in here if he was hiding it with such an elaborate trick.
So obviously there's clearly something in this room of value since it was hidden by a trick. I'm going to take a look here. We're going to use our third eye to see if it's going to pop up here. And there it is.
Is this a medal?
That size and that shape. I think that's our key. Remember that round indentation we saw back near those bars?
Wait, there's something under the medal too.
It's a different map from the one we have. This is lucky. Let's take it with us. Aha! Our map's complete now!
So is it gonna tell us where the treasure is?
Yeah, look. It has to be here.
That's a weird shaped building. Could it be a tower or something?
Considering our current position, I'd say we're about halfway there.
Alright, let's hurry over there.
No. Now that we know how much we have left, we can calculate the best way to pace ourselves. Let's keep exploring, but take breaks when you need to, Joker.
So now we have another half of the map. We'll be able to explore a bit further. We're going to have more information, which is always cool. I feel like we might actually be... I don't want to say we're nearing the end. But here's another tutorial.
Oh, is that?
What's up with that one? It's mumbling to itself, but it's not making any moves.
Be careful. If my prediction is correct, that one's a bit problematic for us.
Alright, then I'll go take care of it.
Just be careful.
What the hell?
It started moving after we attacked it. Looks like it's exactly what I expected. Once we take it down... Hey, you two, watch this!
What the? It exploded?
I'll explain later. Focus on the battle for now. There's another one like from earlier. Haphazard attacks on it will only make things tougher for us. It's probably best to take it down fast by striking its weakness and getting it to blow up. Alternately, we could put it to sleep or make it unable to move, then just deal with it later.
Persona!
This is amazing.
So like I said, we get a new little tutorial throughout the game. This is actually a brand new thing. Disaster shadows essentially is what they're calling themselves. What they're calling it. A disaster shadow essentially, you know, we kill it, it does more damage to the shadows around it. Obviously, we do want to kind of weaken the other shadows around it, but that's not necessarily always something you can actually do. That being said, killing a disaster shadow is a trophy in the game. I think we have to do like 1 maybe or 3 outside of the tutorial, obviously. So we're gonna put the metal here, and we're going to be able to open this door. Like I said, there are puzzles in these palaces. They're not very complex. They just get a little frustrating and sometimes a little tedious. 4 didn't really have these kind of things, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not complaining because I love this game. I like having a bit more of a challenge, but sometimes you can get lost with how these palaces are set up because it's all one route, really, in comparison to like 4, which is always different every time you go in.
Focus.
So you guys can see we still have a little bit of a ways to go here. There's a safe room. We actually didn't get very far from our last safe room. Like I said, sometimes they feel like you don't really go anywhere.
Looks like this place is safe.
Like it feels like sometimes we don't really get very far before we hit a safe room, and that's all well and good. Like I said, Persona 5 is probably the most, like,
All right,
I don't want to
let's
say
do this.
I don't want to say easiest game to get into for the franchise, because it is, but you know how it is. So I think we're actually about to make a big dent here. Maybe?
It's somewhere.
No, we're actually going to get a little cutscene here. I'm like having a brain fart here, trying to remember what's going on here. So we're going to open this door here, and we're going to actually have a mini-boss fight, actually, I believe, once we kind of step in the middle of this room here. So let's see what we got cooking here.
Wait, was that the gym?
I get it. The gym's some kind of holy place for him. He's a god there.
I can't believe he can think like that. Especially after what he did to Shiho.
God, that bastard makes me so freaking sick. Just you wait, Kamoshida.
I see. So you're the ones who tampered with the library. It seems my time waiting here has paid off. Just as that ape there said, this place is a holy ground for our great king Kamoshida. It is preposterous for miscreants like yourselves to come waltzing in like this. You will pay for foolishly defying King Kamoshida with your lives.
I knew this would happen. Well, we don't have a choice. Let's take it down.
Prepare!
Look! He's trying to do something! It's important to guard if you think you're in danger. I don't see a weakness.
That was actually a pretty simple, straightforward fight because of our high-powered weapons and high-level offense. Our characters are a little overpowered. Not like overpowered, but like they're pretty overpowered. I'm not gonna lie. So that was supposed to be a tough boss fight, but it really wasn't, and it's kind of funny, I guess. I don't know. So it looks like we had a whole bunch of enemies spawn here. I think if we stay here, we can actually fight these enemies. We don't want to in this current state here, so we're going to try to use our grappling hook to get out of here, and that works fantastically. Now, I don't know if that wouldn't have worked in the vanilla version. In case you guys are wondering, the vanilla version does not have the grappling hook, so we would have to find a different way to get up there. I think in vanilla, we have to actually fight the enemies, but I could once again be mistaken. I haven't actually played the original version of the game since 2017. Like I said, as much as I love these games, due to the large full scale, of these games, playing a Persona game every year, it's not always something you can actually do. You need a lot of time. Most games round out to close to 100 hours in game, and holy shit, that's a very long time for someone to invest in a game, especially if you're only able to play 10 hours a week. I know we're in different circumstances right now where the ability to play more time it's there, it exists. We can play a lot more than we used to due to current worldwide settings.
How suspicious.
but it looks like we're about to get another tutorial. And this is actually this is a new feature they added just for Royals, so we're going to check it out real quick here.
That's pretty shady.
Joker.
This room seems different from everywhere else we've seen so far.
Yeah. And there's something super suspicious over there.
That's... Come on, follow me!
What is this?
Just what I thought. A will seed. Palaces are locations that grew distorted from their original forms due to their rulers' cognitions. When such distortions coalesce into form, this is the result. I call it a will seed.
Distortions coalesce into will seeds?
Should I try explaining that again?
Just forget it. That's a will seed. Moving on.
So, what do we do with it?
We take it. It may not be as prized as a treasure, but it's still quite the rare find. Making it ours will only do us good, I think.
Is it really okay to take it?
Nothing shitty better happen when you take it. Like some trap going off, or we all end up cursed.
Nice. The will seed is ours.
I guess nothing happened?
There are more of these around here somewhere. As far as I can tell, there are 2 of them left.
Huh? How can you tell? You smell them or something?
Yeah, like how dogs can... Oh, but you're a cat.
I am not a cat! I just seem like a cat.
So, scattered throughout each palace, there are things called will seeds. There are 3 of them. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we can get all 3 will seeds, and we'll be rewarded accordingly. Really, the will seeds they're pretty cool. I don't want to say they're pretty cool, but you get all 3, and then you have to do take a couple more steps in order to fully be able to utilize them. So right now we are going to get into some fighting action here. And remember, like I said, since our characters have their best equipment in the game, these fights are going to be a lot easier. If you're playing for the first time, it's going to be a little bit harder. You want to maximize, I don't want to say you want to maximize, but you want to be able to utilize, you know, strengths and weaknesses of shadows. So if the shadows are weak to electricity, you want to use your electricity ability. Now, I know that sounds, you know, that's common sense, right? The problem, though, with doing that is it costs you SP, and we don't want to use all our SP if we want to kind of one-shot the dungeon. There's nothing wrong with taking more than one day to do a dungeon. The thing, though, is that, like, you want to maximize your playtime. You want to be able to, you know, max out all your, you know, your confidants and do as much of the side stuff as you can. Yeah, you're going to want to actually have to try to one-shot a dungeon, which is why you want to. When we first met Dr. Bikemi, we went and, you know, we could buy all these medications and stuff like that, stuff that'll replenish our SP. Right now, we're only level 8. I know it looks like we're having an easy time when we're playing on a lower difficulty. We're actually playing on normal still. I did not adjust the difficulty, and, you know, like I said, I'm using, Joker is using a level 99 persona, and we have all the best items in the game. Equipment, armor, and accessories are pretty good. So a lot of stuff that I have right now, you will not have access to until your second run or late first run, depending on, you know, how you're playing the game. If you, my ultimate goal is I want to be at a higher level because you want to use those dope-ass personas. You know, if you're playing for the first time, you don't want to be able to use these dope personas for like 20 minutes. No, you want to use them for most of the game.
You notice?
Let's go. There's a strong shadow ahead. We should be careful.
Show me your true form.
Now's our chance to strike.
And in case you guys are wondering the best place to grind in this palace, this is actually one of the better places to grind in the palace because you'll get a guaranteed, I want to say it's like 60, 70 experience points per encounter, and there's 3 of them. Yeah, 60 experience points. So we're talking, if we're doing the math here, we're talking 180 experience points for 3 encounters. You just leave the area, go back, they respawn, and you keep repeating until you reach a level you want to reach. Obviously, you know, there's still more of the palace left for us to kind of explore, and we can really explore more of the palace, and there might be better encounters, but these guys are going to be the toughest shadows that we really can fight in the palace. So if you do want to grind out, you know, that, you know, level, you know, between level 12 and you know, 20, which is where I like to be, you know, between 12 and 20. Usually aiming for 15 is where you're going to be safe. You want to
show me your true form.
What we want to do is we actually want to be a little bit higher than the palace's boss, you know, than you know, Shadow Kamoshida. We actually do want to be a little bit higher to make the fight easier. Obviously, the fight's gonna be easier for us since this is a new game plus, and like I've been saying, we have our character's best weapons. We have the best, you know, skill, one of the better personas in the game for Joker. I'm trying not to use the best persona in the game for Joker. And like I said, if you want, there is the Legacy DLC. The Legacy DLC should be, if I'm correct, it's free. It's a bunch of personas that you don't have, that you could have actually purchased in the vanilla version of Persona 5. So these personas would have cost some money, which sucks. I get it. Persona doesn't really do DLC that much. They do, you know, DLC for, you know, the personas they did in 5 costume sets. They're nothing expensive. I don't want to say expensive, but they're nothing that's going to break. They're not going to, you know, enhance the game. Like, yes, I think getting the personas are going to make the game easier for you. The costume sets are just literally just cosmetic. They might have some bonus, you know, stuff to it. I wouldn't worry about it as much. I bought the personas for the last game for vanilla, but having it all for free in, you know, the second one, it's fantastic that people got it for free. A lot of people were angry about it. It's like, I spent $20 on, you know, Persona DLC. Actually, yeah, that's cool and all, but you know what? You don't have to do it again.
see.
I can feel it.
Oh, a treasure chest!
And this is
Show me
probably
your
that
true
general
form.
area where we're going to want to, you know, if we're going to do some grinding, we're going to grind in this area. I'm not going to do it. You know, you guys don't need to watch me, you know, put out some levels. And it does take time. I'm not going to lie. If you want to have, you know, that higher level earlier in the game, it does take time. Obviously, there is going to be a way for us to kind of level up a lot quicker.
Okay.
But it does take time. Now, I'm not going to say you really need to grind out to level 99 within the first few palaces. You're going to need to be level 99 by end game. We're going to need to be level 99 by the bonus content, the new content that they added specifically for Royal. That I strongly encourage. And I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, level 99, why? So, really, we're trying to get as far as we can. And, like, I'm trying, you know, I don't think we're going to be able to successfully get to the treasure today. It might take us a little bit in the next time to do that, which is all well and good.
They were nothing.
A safe room might be close by, Joker.
Because I feel like I'm going to miss something here, and it's a little bit longer than I think. It's like I'm sitting here thinking we're really close to the end, and we probably are, like, really, really close. But there's probably, like, you know, 5 or 6 steps that I'm missing here for us to get through. To get to that end here. I know for a fact we're getting near the end. Like I said, this is a pretty big, you know, it's a pretty big, like, you know, set, you know, palaces are big. Let's just leave it at that. Burr, palace goes burr. But we're getting close. I think we just entered the safe room. This room is a little confusing because it's a big circle, and trying to remember, you know, which way we're supposed to go, it's a little confusing, especially since, like, the map's not showing us that we weren't in any of these areas, so we were in these areas already. Sometimes it does, the whole 3D, you know, graphics here and the camera angle. I'm not saying the camera angle is bad. I love the camera angle here. It's definitely a different, you know, take than, you know, 4 and 3. It does kind of throw you off a little bit.
I'm getting some bad vibes from this guy. Watch out, Joker. I'll reveal your true form.
Now's our chance to strike!
Losers.
Nice work, team!
We're getting there, level 9. Look at that. And Joker's already pretty strong already, so, I mean, like, you know, we could probably fight the boss right now.
Okay.
Huh? That was a little
Oh, look, there's the ladder. Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that is exactly how it would work. I kind of feel stupid. So we are actually doing a really good job here, making sure we ambush our enemies and they don't see us, and we're not gonna, you know, on top of that,
Now's our chance to don't use blessed attack!
the security level is still low. So we get this opportunity here, and we can do an all-out attack, which is what we do. I hit the triangle button really fast to kind of avoid, you know, popping up that thing, because they're gonna be like, hey, let me join you. No, I don't feel like, you know, you joining me. I'm pretty sure all of my, you know, I don't want to say all my party members, all my, my persona, like, I can only have a certain amount of personas
No match for me.
for Joker to carry around, obviously.
Treasure chest spotted. Must be something good inside.
And having certain personas, so, like, at this point in the game, we want to make sure we have a persona of the Chariot
I'll
Arcana.
reveal your true form.
We want to make sure we have a Hierophant. We want to make sure we have a Lovers. And I think that might be it right now. We don't need a lot, and I don't think we have a lot of space. So we want to make sure we have as many personas matching the Arcana of the Confidants that we are working on at the time. So if we don't have that persona's confidant, not that confidant. We don't have if we don't have the confidant we're working on's persona, like a matching arcana, then we're gonna have a harder time ranking up to them. I actually learned this the hard way, and I didn't actually get that until the last few years when I played Vanilla 5. Like I played Golden originally on the Vita and just played it to play it. I didn't actually think that we actually had to have matching arcana persona. So that's something that you guys want to keep an eye on if you're playing a persona game. Make sure you have, if you're going to spend time with Ryuji, we want to make sure we have a chariot persona with us. It doesn't matter what. But since this is still early in the game and I have access to the full compendium and I had full money, I'm going to make sure I have the best stuff available.
Show me your true form.
And also, since this is New Game Plus, we do have access, like I said, to the compendium. The compendium does tell us, specifically what each shadow or persona is weak to. So we tap the L1 button on our controller, and we'll be able to see that information and be able to target it. Obviously, you're not going to have, I don't want to say personas, or users that are going to be able to trigger that. But that being said, looks like this is actually a great place for us to call it a break today. Thanks so much for watching. I'm that JRPG bro. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. We're going to finish up this dungeon and get ready for the actual boss fight.